welcome. Thanks for joining us for this flipped preaching video. We're going to have a look at a passage from Mark again. We're in Mark for quite a few of these weeks, and this time Mark 9:30 to 37. My name's Andy.
I'm Gareth.
We're going to try and have a discussion about this passage before Sunday, so you can get a chance to watch it and think about it and chew it over. So hopefully you'll hear a sermon on this on Sunday, and then you can forearmed is forewarned.
Yeah.
So it's a really brilliant little passage. I love this one. What struck you first?
Well, the bit that struck me about the who is the greatest.
Yeah.
Because that's something that our world is so obsessed with these days. Who is the greatest? You know, who's the best at whatever, or who's the most in vogue.
Yeah, it seems like things haven't changed.
No.
So just in case you haven't had a chance to read the passage, it begins with Jesus telling the disciples again how he's going to be betrayed and abandoned and executed, and he'll rise from the dead again. So it's predicting his death and resurrection. But then it says that he was again on the way with his disciples. The way is the name for Christianity before it had a name, so this is symbolic. So he's walking with the disciples, and the disciples were arguing about who would be the greatest, who would be the greater of them. And I love the way that Jesus shuts them up, puts them in their place. It's really cool. He finds if you don't know, he finds a child. I don't know where this child comes from, but he puts a child in the middle of them and said, "Whoever welcomes in my name a child like this receives me, welcomes me, and the one who sent me." So, so what does that mean?
You know, like when you think of children, they're always really welcoming. There's no barriers, there's no prejudice. Children interact with everyone, don't they? There's no kind of barrier there. Perhaps that's what Jesus is saying. You know, you need to be more like that. You need to take away all these things and focus on what it's all about, just showing love and being a good ambassador. Yeah.
Always, when I was a teacher, I used to love the way that kids were just so enthusiastic about things and so amazed to be introduced to stuff. And as we get older, we sort of lose some of that, don't we? We get sort of jaded, and we get used to knowing how life works. There's something of a freshness that children come at things with that's really important.
Just that kind of thing of, you know, as children, you're growing up, you can't wait to be older and learn about all the ways of the world, and then you get to be older and you're like, no, stop. I think it's really fascinating that Jesus said that whoever receives a child, so whoever sort of welcomes a child into their life, receives me. Now, I don't know about this, but in church language we have this word called a sacrament, which is where something of this world somehow takes on a bigger significance, and God is present in the thing that we do. In Methodism, we have two official sacraments, which are baptism. So when the minister or whoever puts water on the baby, or puts the baby in the water, or the adult in the water, I'm portraying a bias view of what baptism means. But whenever the person meets the water, we assume that God will be therefore blessing them, and God will be there in that moment because it's a sacrament. You do the water, God is there. And with breaking bread at communion, we break the bread, God is there. That's a sacrament. It's a thing we do, and God is always there. So do you think receiving a child, so playing with a kid, listening to a child talk,
is that sacramental in the same way?
Perhaps.
Good answer. Sorry. Yeah, good answer.
I have to say I hadn't thought of it in that way. You know, I hadn't linked the two, but yes, maybe that is the case.
Yeah.
That
it makes sort of Sunday school and the work we do with children in
Yeah.
church take on a different take, because
meaning.
I don't know, but maybe we sort of think in church that the children go off for Sunday school. If we're a church that's fortunate to have children, but the children go off, but the God stuff happens where the adults are.
Mm-hmm.
But in a way, it's the children bring God to the adults, so it's almost an argument for all age worship
Mm-hmm.
all the time, isn't it? Because children bring God's presence, and when they're away,
That's
God's
what we
less
get.
present with
Yeah.
us. Which is
Well, maybe,
maybe.
but that kind of thing of children just so eager to learn and be receptive.
Yes.
There's no kind of like barriers there, is there?
No.
And we are, as adults, we don't like this or we don't like that, or we want it this way or we want it that way.
Yeah.
I think children take that away
Yes.
so that they actually are focusing on what it is actually all about.
Yeah. So we kind of benefit from
Yeah.
having their example, don't we?
Yeah.
Don't we, with this? And there's probably I always tend to come at this with a church kind of perspective as well. So there's probably an argument here that if a church is not friendly, that's not the right word, but if the way churches are set up mean that children really are bored if they came, there's something wrong there. Our churches need to be places where children are welcome, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think it goes even further than just children. I think it has to be
Yes.
welcoming for everyone.
Yeah. I think perhaps the reason he chose a child was because they were not just because of their energy and
Yeah.
wide-eyed innocence, but they're also the weaker
Mhm.
people of society.
Yeah.
So I think it could equally have taken a beggar
Yeah.
and placed them in the middle and said,
Yeah.
So it's being welcoming to the people who don't have sort of power in society, isn't it? So it's not just the well-to-do.
Yeah. The established.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if we do that, perhaps that helps us to avoid this temptation to think that we're better than
Yeah.
who's the greater.
Yeah, it's a reminder just to show unconditional love, isn't it?
Yeah.
To show that, but we're not making ourselves more superior.
Yes. Yeah. Great.
Good.
Right. Thanks for joining us. If you want to comment in the comment section below the video, it'd be lovely to hear what you think. And we'll see you next time. Okay. Cheerio.
Bye bye.